Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. About 6 topics for this video. First one, the Russians are about to cross Vovcha River in Kharkiv, Kharkov Oblast by Vovchansk. Now that's bad. Why? Because the Ukrainians are in Kursk. These guys go through Kharkiv or Kharkov Oblast, and they go behind. We'll find out what's going on here. I got one article, I got one map or 2 maps, and then I have another topic from Ukrainska Pravda. Ukrainian troops retreat on Pokrovsk front to avoid encirclement. Remember the Russians advance in Donetsk Oblast, and they close in Pokrovsk. I think Pokrovsk is already gone. About 55,000 civilians used to live in that town. I covered an evacuation news yesterday where some Ukrainians from Pokrovsk don't want to be evacuated towards Ukraine. It seems like they're waiting for the evil Russians to come and deliver pain. They must be masochistic individuals. So we're going to discuss this retreat of the Ukrainian troops. Then we're going to go to Russia Today and we're going to find out, or we are informed that Putin has chosen response to Ukraine's incursion, severe punishment. Well, we'll see. Is he eager or willing to attack NATO countries? Since they claim, the Russians claim that their secret service claims, or security services claim that the Brits, the Americans and the Poles organized the Kursk invasion of Mother Russia. Will he do that? Well, let's find out. Next article. Something that is just a confirmation for us that these guys sometimes or most of the time tell the truth, and that is US preparing to lift ban on strikes deep inside Russia. Does that surprise you? Well, if it does, not good. You got a lot of work to do. Why? That has been decided a few years back, before the unprovoked Ukraine invasion perpetrated by the Russians occurred on 24th of February 2022. As they sent howitzers, armored vehicles, short-range missile systems, mid-range and long-range missile systems, we're not going to allow them to use our weapons to strike inside Russia. Then they said, yes, only military targets, short range and mid range, and then yes, they will allow long range. We're not going to send tanks over there. They did. We're not going to send airplanes. They did. So we're not going to send troops. All right, next one. Kiev launches attack on Russian nuclear site in Kursk. I'm going to show you this article and come over, Red Rover, and the map of this massive nuclear power plant. All right, let's start with the beginning, which is Ukrainska Pravda, the 23rd, Friday, the 23rd of August 2024. Situation near Vovchansk. Russians attempt to break through to Vovcha or Vovcha River. I don't care. I read it Vovcha because I want it. All right, so that's there's 2 rivers converging in Vovchansk, and I will show you a map. But let's read 1 or 2 paragraphs here. The Russians are focusing their main efforts on attacking Vovchansk on the Kharkiv front, attempting to break through the Vovcha River. The situation on the front remains tense. That's why they say when they lose. The main focus or dynamic. These are the 2 terms they consistently use, and then you say, and then in 2 days you find out they just retreated and lost to the positions. Experience, my friends, pattern, memory. The main focus on the enemy's efforts is still on the city of Vovchansk, where urban battles are currently ongoing. So let's look at the first map right here. Vovchansk by the Russians is right here in Kharkiv, Kharkov Oblast. You see over there? So that is on the big picture right here. This is where the war occurs, tralala. This is Kursk offensive, this is Belgorod offensive, and then you got Vovchansk right here, or Volchansk by the Russians. You have these 2 rivers. I don't know if you can see them, but I'm going to show you a different map. One here and one there. So the river these guys are talking about, which is river Vovcha River, is the one going east to west. This right here. And this is the other one. On the other map is right here. This is Vovcha River, and this is another river that comes from from Russia. I'm sorry, and they meet here. So this little union of the rivers, it's right here. So this is Vovcha River, right there, written clear, bam bam bam, and the other one is Siversky Donets River, and then you have Vovcha, the Vovchansk right here, and this is the border. Is the border with Russia. See, Russia, Ukraine, and this is the river running. Where is it? Right here, Vovcha River along the border, and then going into this, going into Russia, right here. So they are advancing here, trying to cut them off here. This offensive started a few months ago, and it's not a big deal. But you have this one that stayed the same for a while here by Kupiansk. And if these guys are going on two fronts, Kharkiv could be encircled or at least attacked from two fronts. All right, that's the first topic. Second one, Ukrainska Pravda. Ukrainian troops retreat on Pokrovsk front to avoid encirclement. I covered this a few days ago and I said exactly that. These guys are in danger of being encircled. Now, where is Pokrovsk? Let's go to this map. And Pokrovsk is right here. This is Donetsk Oblast, and you got Pokrovsk in this area in here. It doesn't show on this map, but you gotta believe me, in this, they attack this way. So they are obviously retreating and evacuating their people. And here, let's find out what these guys say. Russian advances towards the city of Pokrovsk. Let me give you a big view on this, zoomed out. Is right here, Pokrovsk. And the other one was right here that I was talking about. Russian advances towards the city of Pokrovsk have led to the withdrawal of Ukrainian forces from positions southeast of Pokrovsk. Consequently, the Russian troops have failed to achieve their apparent objective of a tactical encirclement of Ukrainian forces in this area. It's bad as it is, so, all right. Geolocated footage from 22nd of August shows that the Russian forces recently captured Ptyche, southeast of Pokrovsk, and advanced further south, confirming earlier claims of control over the east bank of Karlivske Reservoir. All right, so it seems like the Russians, even if the guys are making it as, they couldn't do this, they couldn't do that, they are still, advancing. Slowly but surely. They do it as they can. Now let's go to the next. Actually, let me look over this if I can pinpoint it like this. Even though Pokrovsk, like right here, but I can show on the map Pokrovsk, but I'm gonna. This is Pokrovsk here. This is where they say is right here somewhere. I can find on this map. It's not big enough. It's not zooming. But if you look on this one, Pokrovsk here, and if you zoom like that, you find Donetsk right here where you don't see it. Donetsk is right here. So you go on the other map, and Donetsk is right here. All right. So we got this one covered. Let's go to the next topic, which again comes from Ukraine, and I'm just going to use the same logic to turn the tables on these guys. Ukraine form. First Deputy Defense Minister Havrilyuk, and he says strikes on Russia's military targets are not escalation in war, but a way to end it. Okay, all right. Well, let's use this for the Russians, and let's say I'm a Russian, and I'm saying, well, our attack on Ukraine is because NATO put military infrastructure and CIA, bases in Ukraine. And they want actually to come closer and then eventually destroy us. So it was in our to safeguard our nation, we had to attack to end a future war, a third world war. Oh no, you can't say that, it was unprovoked, the baboons are saying. But these guys say, no, we attack Russia, inside Russia, only military infrastructure to end the war. That's it. But the Russians cannot say the same thing. Well, NATO came towards us year after year, brought its military infrastructure, conquered, took over and turned states into vassal states, coming closer to us, brought air defense systems in Russia, in Romania, in Poland. Then they wanted to turn Ukraine into that. And we just, it's okay. No, we wanted to stop that in our own national interest, as Ukraine has its own national interest. No, or they can't? They can't? All right. So this is garbage with the media telling us, you can do it, you cannot do it. Because that's how justice is, not blind. Russia Today, the 23rd of August 2024. Putin has chosen response to Ukraine incursion, envoy says. Severe punishment awaits those behind the attack, Russia's ambassador to the United States, Anatoly Antonov, also said. So why the Russian ambassador to US said that? Not what the ambassador to Romania, the Russian ambassador. Why not that guy? And again, severe punishment. The guys behind the attack. We know because they told us that behind the attack were, as I said, Americans, Brits, and Poles. They organized, they trained, and the incursion. So how are you going to punish those guys? Are you going to bomb Germany, US, UK, and Poland? If not, I don't want to hear it. Not that I want to happen, but, what are you going to do? Keep using squeegees and towels and buckets for the broken water pipe in your house? Or are you going to go downstairs in the basement, turn off the water coming from the city, the US, all right? And then you solve the problem here, you patch or you replace the pipe. That's how you do it. But somehow the Russians don't think that far. So why don't you go to the source? How do you go to the source? Tell them we're going to fuck you up, and they can fuck them up. But they won't. Why? Is this that kind of war between you and I? I don't know. I still have that. I'm open-minded. President Vladimir Putin has decided on how to respond to Kiev's incursion into Russia's Kursk region, and everyone, that's the one I also mentioned, will undoubtedly be punished, Moscow's ambassador to US told journalists on Thursday. Earlier this month, Kiev launched its largest cross-border attack to date on Russia, sending in some of its best equipped and most experienced soldiers into Kursk region in an attempt to seize Russian territory. The Ukrainian government has expressed hope that the operation will relieve pressure on its forces elsewhere on the front line and strengthen Kiev's position on eventual peace talks with Moscow. Well, I'm looking here and I don't see any foreign anybody commenting on Moscow's future steps in response to the invasion. The ambassador stated that President Putin has already made a decision. He also said that he is firmly convinced that everyone will be severely punished for what happened in Kursk region. I'm trying to find out here anything like, oh, we trained this, we trained that, and nothing about that. Why is that? Well, let me find something here. Maybe I can just show you, and you can go and take that for a reference. It's just a video I made a few days ago, and see if I find it. So let's say US, Polish, UK. All right, let's see what brings it. And right there, on the 21st of August this year, this is the title, US, UK, Poland, part of the Ukraine's Kursk attack. And let's make it that way. Kursk attack. So, excuse me, and right here, US, UK, Poland took part in preparing Ukraine's operation in Kursk. This is the articles I used for this video. Go and check it out. So, is Putin gonna punish them? If not, why not? Is he afraid? Maybe he is. Anyway, let's go to the next article, which doesn't come as a surprise, by the way. Russia Today, the same 23rd of August, today. US preparing to lift ban on strikes deep inside Russia, Moscow says. We knew that. That's going to happen, 100% guaranteed. Washington cannot be trusted over claims that Ukraine is prohibited from using certain weapons. Russian envoy, the same guy, says. Claims by Washington that it has banned Ukraine from using US-supplied long-range weapons for strikes deep inside Russian territory cannot be trusted. Of course, Ukrainian leader, he's not Ukrainian, Zelensky has resumed his call for this country's Western backers to allow long-range strikes on Russian territory during Kiev's ongoing incursion in Kursk region. The Pentagon stated last week that its stance remained unchanged and the Ukraine is still banned from using US-supplied attack MS missiles, which have a range of up to 300 kilometers, 186 miles. Boo! Only that? For attacks deep inside Russia. So I don't believe squad. It says here. Antonov claimed that the US authorities seem to be constantly teasing us by saying that today it is allegedly not allowed to use long-range systems to strike at Russian territory. But in reality, they are essentially preparing the ground to simply remove all existing restrictions at a certain point. That is, they are involved. Did you get that? NATO or United States of America fights Russia with everybody else but itself. Why? Because that's what the courageous people do. They don't go and say, motherfucker, come over here. No, we're going to send this guy, weaken you, and after they weaken you enough, then they push everybody around and they, see, motherfucker, I got you now. Like in the Second World War, for instance. Oh no, my bad. The D-Day landing, when it occurred, right on 6th of June, 1944, I think it was, right? The Russians, I deserve to be punched in the face because I said Russians, the Soviets with the Ukrainians, right, in the Soviet army, they already liberated all their territory from the Nazis and they were coming towards Europe. And then American says, oy vey, we gotta fucking go. Remember, Stalin asked the Americans, more precisely Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the president of United States of America at that time, on 3 occasions to open a second front. But the guys were opening a front. Where? In Italy, kind of. All right? But he's asked, no, in Western Europe. And then when these guys were coming, the Americans and the economic interests said, no, we got to take over and have these baboon Europeans under our thumb, because that's what it was. And then Marshall Plan to reconstruct. Yeah, okay. Discussed about that one some other time. So right here, my friends, right here, they're just gonna do it. I have no doubt about it. All right, let's move to the next one. This is Russia Today. Again, today, 23rd of August. Kiev launches attack on Russian nuclear site. Media. A kamikaze drone has been brought down near a spent fuel storage facility at the Kursk power plant, a source told TASS. A Ukrainian drone carrying an anti-tank grenade attempted to reach the Kursk nuclear power plant overnight. Alright, so let's see where that is located. This is the big nuclear power plant. I mean, I'm going to show you it's a huge power plant. Look over there. Look at this industrial facility. And yeah, Russia is just a 5th world country. I mean, if I show you just like, what the hell is this? I mean, you can go and Google it and it's still working. They're still building. This is it. Where is this located? Very close to the border, actually, my friends. Very close to the Ukrainian border. I would say right here. You see here? This is the Ukrainian border. This is where the power plant is. What can you do? So, is it true? Well, either way, the war should have not started. But hey, if you have interest, who want to take over Russia and then China and then eventually this, what can you do? With someone else's fathers, brothers, sisters, sons and daughters and so on. They don't care. They just look at the stock market and their investments and how their profits increase day by day because they were just lucky. Life dropped this on their lap. There's no connection between the banks, reconstruction, and lending money for military equipment. the military-industrial complex, and the sanctions on Russian cheap natural resources. Therefore, we come and we eliminate competition by forbidding sanctions, right? And then we are going to sell our garbage in your country because there's no more competition. But hey, we are capitalist countries. You got that? All right. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.